Hey there guys, welcome again, and it's part 6. We've come a long way in this series, and if you've been watching this series from the beginning, just leave a comment so that I can acknowledge you and stuff. Okay, so in this video, as promised, we're going to be working on the transition systems and some tool menus and stuff like that. So to start with, I just want to create a new autoloader file, which I've already done, transition.gd, and currently it's just empty. Okay, I saved it in the autoloads folder just so you know. And now I'm going to go over to project settings. Since it's an autoloaded script, then I'm going to go over to autoload and I'm going to add it up there. Okay, so that is added. Now we'll go over to script. The way our transition is going to work is just going to go blackout and come back. So in this, we're going to be using a tween. So yeah, first off, just say var tween equals to tween.new. So this is going to create a new tween node. Then the next thing is our black cover. So we just say var black cover equals to a colorRect.new. So now that we're done with that, first off, I'm sorry, this is not meant to be a node, a normal node. I want to make it a canvas layer. So just do well to make it a canvas layer node so that it's going to actually cover everything in the scene. So we say on a enter tree, when we enter the tree, we want our layer to be equal to 5. So this is just going to set the layer of this canvas layer on top every other thing, because from what I've seen in my game, I don't have anything that is up to the layer of 5. So the next thing is on the ready function, we want to initialize that our black cover. So we want to set some things up. So first off, we want to hide it. So we say black cover.hide. And the next thing is we want to set its color. So we say black cover.color. It will be equal to a color.black. Actually, I don't want to say color.black. So I want to say 0, 0, 0, 0. So this is actually a black color, and it's going to actually set the alpha to 0. So it's going to be transparent in this case. So at the beginning, we want it to be transparent. The next thing is we want to set the size of the black cover. So we just say black cover.rect size, where is it? Will be equal to get underscore tree dot current scene dot get underscore viewport size. Hopefully you got everything I got here. So we're going to set the size of the right cover to cover the entire scene. That's just pretty much everything that this is doing. And the next thing is we're going to add the child, add the cover as a child of our canvas layer node. Sorry, black cover. So we're going to add that colorRect as our child, and also add the tween. So with that done, we want to start transitioning. So we're going to make a function for that. So just call it transition. And we're going to pass in a variable, which is the scene, and it's going to be a string. So first off, when we want to transition, we want to show the black cover. So we say black cover.show. The next thing is we want to say tween.interpolate property. If you don't know what tweens are, I just want to give a brief explanation to this. And if you don't know, just skip the video like 20 more seconds and I'll continue from there. So what a tween is basically an animation player that can be manipulated with code and doesn't have this animation stuff. So a tween is, right now we're going to interpolate a property, and what a property is, if you don't know, is something like for an enemy, all these variables here, they are all properties. And here in the tween, we're going to interpolate the property. We're going to like change the values of the property in a given time with some other values and stuff. So for the interpolate property, we first of all give it a node. So that's the black cover that we're going to give it. And the next thing is what we want to interpolate, which will be the color. So the normal color of the colorRect, that's what we want to interpolate. The next thing is from what and to what. So we say color 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. So we want to interpolate it from this color to color 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1. Okay, so this is going to change it from invisible to visible. So This last value here is the alpha value. Here it's 0, and that's because from this at the start we don't want it to be shown, and gradually with a given time that we're going to pass in next, it's going to change to 1. So here I'm just gonna press enter there just to make everything fit. So the next thing is I'm just going to put a comma. Yeah, then the next thing is the time. As I said before, it's going to do it in a specific time. So for this one, we'll just go 0.5, and the next value is going to be trans, twin trans back, twin trans bounce, circ, and all those other stuff. So I don't really want to go deep into this stuff, so we're just going to go with twin dot, make sure it's a capital T there, not our normal local twin. So we say twin dot trans linear. So we say trans linear, and this is just going to make it linear, like it won't have any weird stuff attached to it. And the next one will be twin is out, twin dot is out. Yeah, so for the twin dot is out, why we're doing twin dot is out is it's like basically going to be more intense at the starting, and as it goes it gradually just eases out and stuff. I don't really know how to explain that effect, but you're gonna see it by yourself. So from here we're gonna call twin dot start, and if you just know that if you don't call twin dot start, it's not gonna start, so all your work of this whole lines, these 2 lines of code is just gonna be a waste. So yeah, the next thing is we want to yield our twin. So say yield, and the node we want to yield is twin, and twin completed. Yes, so the yield is just going to wait for the signal that this twin is going to give it when it's done with this whole animation and stuff. So we're going to wait for it to finish. Then once var, just a response or anything like that, equals to get underscore tree dot change scene, and we're just going to pass in the string here. Sorry, we're just passing the scene variable here. So that's it. That's pretty much it, I guess. The thing is, when we change to a new scene, then we don't just want it to appear like that. We want it to like also carry out this effect, but in the opposite direction. So this one is going to like turn it from nothing to full black. Then the next one we want to do is going to turn it from full black to nothing. So we're just going to copy this. We're just going to be changing some things, not too much. So we're going to leave the color, we're going to leave all that. And here the from, we're going to make it a 1, and the 2, we're going to make it a 0. Yeah, so this is going to be from full black to faded. Then the next thing is the time is just going to be constant, and here instead of ease out, it's going to ease in. So again, we want to call twin the start, and if we don't call that, it's going to be a problem. And here we're just going to yield again for that twin completed. Make sure you don't get all completed, just twin completed. And we want to say black cover the hide. So we're going to wait for that twin to be finished, and when it comes from total black to normal faded black, like which you can see basically transparent, that will be when the twin is finished, and we're going to hide the black cover again. So I think we're done with that. And now, since it's already on the auto load, it's going to be instanced in every scene, and we don't need to actually instance it manually. So the next thing is we want to actually make our menu, because we have to be transitioning from somewhere to somewhere, you know what I mean? So over here we're going to just create the user interface, name this menu, and I just want to like lay out all the nodes we need here. So just stick around. I'm going to fast forward the video. Okay, so I'm done with that. I just want to enlarge here so that you can see everything at once. So as you can see, I have a canvas layer. I have under it I have some parallax layers, and this is going to give us some kind of scrolling effect there. I have a sprite, and this is going to be one small guy that's going to be running. I'm just going to show you how that will work later. Actually, this is not a normal sprite, it's an animated sprite, so just have to change that. Okay, So the next thing is still under the menu, we have another canvas layer node, and this is going to be our buttons, and I'll just center them and do everything here. So first off, I want to start by giving some things. So first off, I want to start by giving this camera 2D a script, and I'll just create it. I won't make it built in because we're only going to be using it here. And say func process, then want offset dot x to be plus equals to 200 times delta. So this is going to like move the camera just to simulate that moving effect. And yeah, I'm just gonna save this menu.tscn. Yeah, oh no, we're meant to save menu.tscn in our screens. Yes. Okay, so with that done, this sprite over here, we're just going to give it an animation, new sprite frames, and the animation is, we're going to leave the name as default, and it's going to just be our running animation. Go back to assets and get our running animation there. Vertical one, hit enter, clear all frames. Yeah, so we'll go to this. Playing by default is going to be on, so just click that, and as usual give this like a 13, so we're good. Actually, this camera 2D, I want to also set the limits, so left to be 0, the top will be our screen size, yeah, 1024, and the right, okay, no, bottom is going to be 600. I'm so sorry, this is meant to be 0 and this is going to be 600. Yeah, so it just aligns our camera there with the viewport. And this sprite, we're going to move it over down here because it's going to be actually down here. Then for these mountains, trees, and the rest, we're just going to put in the normal ones. Also, I'm going to fast forward the video just to speed up things. And for this floor sprite, we're going to use this menu tile. As I said, all the assets will be in GitHub, link in the description below, so just go there and get if you want to use my exact same assets. So yeah, we're going to get these sprites. I'm going to use control and click all of them, go over to offset and centered. We're going to center it off. So yeah, I think we're good. Then for the floor, I'm going to take it down. I'm just going to keep this at, let's say, 500. Almost there. I'm just going to shift it down a bit, and yeah, that should be it. Then for the trees and the mountains, I'm going to just select the two of them. Select the first one, the sprites. Make sure you get the sprites. Select the two of them, go over to transform. The scale. I'm gonna make this like 1.6. I guess that should be exact. Nice. So then over here we're just gonna give it like 1.4 or a 1.2. Yeah, exact. So yeah, we're done with that. Hopefully I got all of them right. So for the mountains, we're going to give it scale X of 0.5. Then the mirroring of X is 1024, and that's just going to do this. Also the motion, this one is going to have a 0.8, and this is going to be like 1024. Do the same thing. And for the floor, we're going to pretty much do the same thing, but we're going to leave this on scale at 1, and the mirroring is going to be at 1024. So this is going to mirror this. I think I'm done with that. I'm done with this BG, I guess. Okay, no, not yet. This sprite, I want it to sit on the wall there, so it's just going to sit. So yeah, I'm done. The next thing is this node over here. We're going to be configuring these buttons to do all sort of nice stuff. So we're going to move the buttons over to the center. So we're just going to center it there, and we're going to increase the size. All the buttons here have to fill in for the vertical, so we select all the buttons, go down to size flags and vertical expand. We're going to check that button, and all of them just expands to fill it up there. Go over to the vertical, the VBox container node. Go over to custom contents. We want to give it some space, so we're just going to give it like 20, and all of them are half space there. So we select all the buttons again, go over to flat. We're going to tick flat because we want it to be flat. And we want the align to be left, and I'm going to show you why I'm doing this, because if I want to like select a button, I want something like an arrow to hover over that button, so that it's actually show like I'm hovering over it and stuff. So yeah, we want to go over to the VBox container again and just reduce the size because that would be too big, and we're going to center it. Fine. I don't know why my mouse is behaving funny today. I'm sorry for that. For the buttons, I want to give them a special font, a dynamic font. I'm gonna load font. We should be in our assets font, and which one should I use? I think I'm gonna use this one. And I'm going to increase the size of them to be like a 40 or 30. Okay, I think 30 works fine. To actually implement that arrow stuff that I was talking about, you go over to your buttons. We're going to add a script. We're going to leave it built-in script. We're going to add it there. So first off, we want to use the ready function. I don't know why my mouse is sticky. This is getting annoying. I think I'm gonna get a new mouse. So yeah, so we first use our ready function. So on the ready function, we want to connect the signals. So for I in get underscore children. So for every button there, we want to connect a particular signal. So we say I dot connect the mouse entered signal, mouse underscore entered, with ourself, and we're just gonna say underscore mouse entered. So I'm just gonna copy this, C, V. Yeah. So we're gonna connect this signal to this function, and this is not the only signal we're connecting. We're connecting 3 more. So we just Control D all these and just duplicate them. We'll go over here. We just change this one to mouse exited. So we just say exited, and also change it here. And here we say focus entered, and here it's focus exited. Over here, do the same. Just name this focus. Focus exited. Okay, so I'm done with that. I just recommend you copying exactly what I did here. I'm just gonna enlarge this. So just copy down whatever you see there, and it just will work out for you. So the signals we connected, now I want to create functions for them. So we say func underscore. We're gonna start with the mouse entered signal. So now after connecting all these signals, the problem is if I want to like hover if I want to add that greater than sign on a particular button, I don't know the exact button to add, so I cannot just say add it here. I want to actually know that button and do some checks and make sure that it does that greater than sign there. So where we are connecting the signals, we're going to connect the button. So we're going to get the button. So we just see a comma and square brackets I inside, and this I is actually the button. Okay, I would have just named this button, but hopefully you understand just like this. So it's just going to add an extra parameter to this function I'm giving here. So now I can just say button and button. This is just trying to tell you that it's in this whatever is going past here is going to be a button. And yeah, that should be it. Actually, I'm going to add all this to all other signals, so I'm just going to copy, and so I'm done with that. The next thing is if button dot text dot find greater than sign comma 0 equal to -1, then we want button dot text to be equal to button dot text dot insert 0 and greater than space. So this is essentially I think there's an error somewhere. So if the button we're hovering over already has this greater than sign, that means we're already hovering over it, then we're not going to do anything. But if it doesn't have it, what this is doing, this button.text.find is doing, is going to return a 0 or a -1. 0 means it's found and -1 means it's not found. So if it doesn't find this, then we just want to insert it there. And that's all we need for this function. The next function is the marks exited, and we're basically going to do the opposite of this, but it's just going to be somehow different. So this is going to replace the button and update the text. Okay, sorry, replace the text in the button and update the text. And this one, as I said before, is just going to insert this at this index, at index 0. That's like at the first position. Going to insert that there. So for the focus mode and all those other stuff, I'm not going to be doing anything on those, and I have my reasons. Just leave it in the comments if you want me to do it. So over here we go over to the settings. Right now we don't have any settings, so we're not going to be going anywhere, and we want to disable that button for some reason. And the play and quit buttons, we're just going to connect the press signal to the buttons, and here we're just going to say transition. That's that transition auto load that a single thing that we did before. I will just say transition the translation to, I'm just going to go over here and copy the file path, and on the other function, that's going to be the quit. I don't want to quit the game, so just connect the press signal and say get underscore tree dot quit. So I think I'm pretty much done with that. I'm done with everything, I guess. Hopefully we won't run into any errors. Let's pray to God. Like seriously, let's actually pray. And as you can see, this stuff is working perfectly, this arrow stuff, which is really cool. And yeah, there's a problem, this guy is not moving, so we're just gonna fix that. And if you click play, you see the transition, and it's awesome. Like, wow. So that's really cool. I love that. Smash like if you do too. And yeah, as I said, there's a problem, and that's here. The problem is we did not add the current, so we just name this tick this current, and I think it should work out perfectly. So yeah, as you can see, it's moving in the right direction and everything is working. I love this effect. This effect is really cool. So we can press play, go with a nice transition, and we can kill some people. And this is really, really, really nice. So I want to go over to my project settings. So I want to go over to my project settings and go to run. And main scene is normally going to be game. It's going to be screens. Where is it? Screens. Yep, menu.tscm. So yeah, that should be good. And also, I just want to say I'm sorry for not posting videos frequently because I have a lot on my mind now. And I have current projects I'm working in Python and some other languages like that. So I don't really have so much time. So I'm sorry for that, but I'll always make time for you guys. Smash subscribe if you like this series, and I just want to tell you guys, those of you that are leaving suggestions in the comments, just know that I'm taking note of all of them, and when we're done with the basics of this series, we're going to go into all of them, like making the store system and the rest. So yeah, thanks for watching. See you guys next time. Smash subscribe, wait for part 7, and goodbye.